I'm gonna start my speech in five, four, three, two, one. Opening opposition unfortunately has to go down in this debate. Note that their goals is very unrealistic. They want to suppress the number of people to stop smoking, right? Notice that tobacco is a need that will last as much as we regulate it. People will still consume tobacco, right? It is essential needs. Tobacco is a need that will last forever, right? Here's the thing, right? Consuming tobacco is okay, ladies and gentlemen, as long as you're not consuming it too much and you don't throw waste to the ocean, for example, and you do not want to smoke in the front of children or other harm action, right? I do not understand opposition argument because they want to stop people from smoking, but under their side of the house, it's not like government will try to make people smoking if people stop smoking, right? Because it is their source of income, right? So the government will not try to suppress people from smoking to begin with. And I don't understand like why is their benefit under their side of the house will be achieved, right? But even then, however, right, under our side of the house, it's not like we will cut tax at all to smoke, right? We will maintain the status quo, so we still have like government effort. This is why you have regulations such as smoking area and etc. So I don't think the government, so I don't think that the opposition benefit will manifest, and it's exclusive under their side of the house, right? Yes.
Our case wasn't just about reducing the amount of smokers. Our case was about smoking ought to be limited. You ought to compensate the harms that you create from smoking through other ministries, through other healthcare system.
Okay, here's why, right? Under my case later on, I will prove why there will be like more structural incentive why corporation will be more benevolent under our side of the house rather than handing it to the government at all, right? So that's what our exclusivity from the opening opposition, right? But other than this structural incentive, it will also bring more harms that is more tangible rather than the opposition, the opening opposition harms that is literally just smoking, right? Position side of the house, you will cut the protection for the workers, right? Now, this is rooted from the fact that you will cut the corporation will cut costs, right? Currently, the tobacco industry is already very bad, right? There is like a lot of workers that are coming from, there are a lot of child workers that are less regulation to protect the workers. This is why a lot of tobacco harvesters suffer from green tobacco sickness, for example, because they've been affected by nicotine poisoning because they absorb nicotine on the surface of the wet tobacco plants, right? That's why they are prone to this type of sickness, right? Under their side of the house, they will try to use any means possible to cut the cost for their corporation, right? A, either they will cut the protection of the workers, which is very harmful, right? Or B, they will cut workers, which is a huge harm, right? Note that tobacco creates low-stream and upstream jobs. It trickles down to toko kelontong and other work and other form of work, right? But C, under their side of the house, this corporation will try to use cheap workers, i.e., hire more child workers rather than professional workers, and that's what they do in current status quo, and they will become much more under your side of the house because you pressure them to cut costs, right? Secondly, under their side of the house, they will be more bad to the environment. They will not opt into eco-friendly technology because merely to the fact that they will cut costs, right? Secondly, they will not try to do good waste management, i.e., like they will not try to regulate like the waste management of cigarettes, because currently cigarettes waste management is very bad. Cigarettes bud waste is like a significant contributor on the beach waste, right? And they will not clean it up under their side of the house. They will not have any incentive at all because they will be pressured to cut costs, right? But thirdly, the biggest harm under their side of the house is the protection of the consumer, right? Notice that under their side, people will still consume, but there will be like less protection for the consumer. A, they will not try to warn people that tobacco is bad. They will not try to warn people what is like the bad outcome that you will experience when you consume tobacco. There'll be no warning at all under their side. The reason to that is because they want to maintain the sale, right? Because they are currently very pressured and they are at the brink of like losing their profit. They will try to keep people to buy this type of smoke, right? But B, they will extract tobacco in a low quality, i.e., they will not use good quality tobacco, or i.e., they will not use good filters in their smoke, for example, that will protect the people, right? That's why there will be more sickness under their side of the house. This way like health this way health risk under their side of the house is also bigger, right? But see, it leads into more smuggling under their side of the house, right? Because the fact that tobacco is less accessible, people will find way to make it more accessible by doing smuggling, ladies and gentlemen. And smuggling is bad because it's harder to regulate. You don't have any standardization of the quality of the tobacco itself. That's why it's very, very harmful under a side of the house, under their side of the house, right? But notice that I will prove why the corporation will be much better fallen under our side of the house. Currently, why corporations are being so benevolent and they give scholarships, i.e., Jaran scholarship, for example, or donating for the environment, due to the fact that they feel the sense of responsibility of the bad outcome that they created, right? That's why they have more smoking area. That's why they don't want a lot of children to die in current status quo and build this smoking area, right? Because they want to be looked as a they have the sense of responsibility over the outcome that they have created, right? That's why a lot of like unhealthy commodities, i.e., tobacco, like alcohol or other food and beverage, use CSR to look nice in current status because it's useful for their marketing, right? Under side of the house is better because government can pressure them more, right? In their side, they think that they have done enough, right? I pay tax already. Why you pressure me, right? It is now the burden of government to clean all my mess, right? Because now it is the government who has to do all the corporations mess, and it's very problematic, ladies and gentlemen, because government cannot even pressure this corporation to stop employing child workers and other things because corporations will be focusing on the government will focusing on cleaning all the mess this corporation have created, right? But why this is better under us of the house also, other than government can pressure them, it's better because society can pressure them, right? I.e., calling them out, right? Under their side of the house, it will be completely on the hand of the government. This corporation will always refer to the government. I have done enough, right? Like criticize your government. They tax me so hugely, and they do bad policy at the end of the day, right? But they might say that gov allocation of money will be better under the side of the house. But no, because the fact that they have to means that they fuck up already. But secondly, the corporation is better because it's less bureaucratic. Government is corrupt, ladies and gentlemen. They corrupt in times of pandemic. There is a lot of huge regulation loop under their sort of the house. Corporation is faster and they have a lot of shareholders and they can build more faster way to solve it, right? Because if you compensate the people who under the side of the house, then it's going to be bad anyway, right? Because this the other days out of the house, if you compensate these people too much also, people will have more safety net to smoke, right? And people will be feel safer to smoke, thus the number will be still bad under their side of the house, right? So I don't think why their benefit is going to be manifested at the end of the day, and it's inexclusive, and it's even worse because of the harms that I've mentioned, and it's exclusive compared to the opening opposition. I'm very proud to